Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This video is yet another one taken from the Set 5, or officially Set 5.5 revival. And in this game we're going to be looking at a Skirmishers team composition. A team composition I haven't played a ton, but it is one that I was able to put together in this game. And it ended up being one of those games where everything capped out super high. And I ended up having to play pretty greedy in this one, but fortunately it did end up working out. Alright, so here we have our starting portal as always. For some reason people never vote. Like, there's always some people that just don't vote on these, and I never understand that. Like, only 5 of the 8 players are even voting. Not voting does not do anything to help you. It turns out that it's actually my pick, and I chose Golden Gala because that's going to give us 3 golden augments, and that just means that we're basically going to be playing a normal game of Teamfight Tactics here. That said, because this is set 5.5, that means that we will have that Radiant Blessing, the thing the community calls the Stimmy, when we drop under 40 HP, so we will have to keep an eye on that and see what happens. Alright, now this initial drop right here has a double Tristana on it, and then on this first minion round, I believe, once everybody actually has a chance to finish killing the various minions, I have a double Kled here as well, so I think if I were just doing a normal game, I think I would have probably just tried to go into Hellions from here, because I think that that is the opener that makes the most sense, play through the double Trist drop and go from there. But I had already done the Hellion. I put a Hellions game up on YouTube, and I'm just trying to play different things at this point in time. So I didn't want to play a Hellions game for that reason, even though I think that that made the most logical sense based on this opener. I just wanted to do something different. I didn't have anything in particular in mind. Like I said, though, this game mode is essentially for fun. We're not playing for rank or anything like that. And so the only thing that I've really... And by the way, there's another Kled, so that would have been 2-star Kled. So yeah, I could have played through that Kled, and then there's even a Hecarim here, so I could have played through Kled and then also through like Hecarim with Cavalier trait. But anyway, that is not the case. Instead, the only thing I have that's really of note right now is I have a 2-star Udyr. So my thinking was maybe I could play Skirmishers because I have the 2-star Udyr. Maybe I could look to play into Draconic trait as well, because those are the 2 traits on Udyr. That's the main reason why I'm still holding the Pike, because Pike has Sentinel trait, and there's a lot of overlap between Skirmishers and Sentinels. Alright, here is our initial augment. Looking at the different options here, Invoker Crest is kind of interesting, but Invoker Crest would just play into Karma again, and I've done enough Dawnbringer games, I wasn't really looking for that. So I'm looking at the different options here. I was like, it could be Martyr. I think Martyr would have been the best options here. I end up taking You Have My Sword, and that's going to commit me to some kind of AD-based team composition. Your team does additional attack damage. This would ultimately end up being kind of a wasted initial augment. I probably should have just taken that Martyr option, because that one is going to be good in all situations, and the healing actually would have been quite useful for the team I ended up playing. As you'll see later on, getting additional attack damage on a Skirmishers team composition is not really that great as far as the board goes, but it is something that I got here. It does give me 1 additional component. That said, the value of 1 additional component is significantly lower than the value of a gold augment. The way that it works is a silver augment is generally seen as being equal to about 1 full item, because there is a silver augment that just gives you a completed item. It gives you a random one, so you don't get to pick it, but a silver augment, there is one that just straight up gives you 1 random item. So getting 1 component from a gold augment, and what is it? I think it's like 10% additional physical damage. Not really that great. This is not one of the better options, but I was trying to see options. I was trying to get something that would give me some direction in terms of what I was playing, and I kind of didn't really get that. There was the Thresh carry augment, but I really didn't want to play through that. I didn't think that would be particularly noteworthy. So here I do end up getting this Nidalee. So with the Nidalee, I will go ahead and put her on the board. That's a helpful 3-cost champ to play on here. And I am going to end up getting Skirmisher trait in play. And this is going to be a Skirmisher featured video. I'm also going to hold Udyr's, because if I do play Skirmishers, Udyr has a good chance of staying on the board the entire game. So we might as well just grab any additional Udyrs we might find. Okay, since this is a Skirmisher-based video, let's go ahead and cover specifically what this trait does right from the start of the video. It's a pretty unique trait, one of the more unusual traits here in Set 5. It basically gives you stacking attack damage, and it also gives Skirmisher units a shield. So here's the official description. Combat start, Skirmishers gain a shield, and bonus attack damage each second. So it's not based on how many, like there's been a lot of stacking AD traits over the various different sets of Teamfight Tactics. Some of them have been as your units use their abilities, they get more AD. Some of it's as they get more attacks, they get additional attack damage. Skirmishers is every second your team gains more AD. So Skirmishers get stronger and stronger as the fights go on. So stacking AD. Here at Skirmisher 3, it's a 20% max health shield, and it's 4% additional AD for each round. So here, by the way, I've gone ahead and made some items that are going to be good on a Jax later on. I've gone ahead and made a Bloodthirster, which is one of Jax's core items. And then I've also gone ahead and I have this leftover sword. So I'm trying to find a unit that does attack damage. And none of these units actually do AD. I think that Udyr is the only one that does AD, but he's kind of a terrible unit. And he's more of a tank than really like a unit that deals damage per se. So I have them on Nidalee because she is an auto attack based champion, but Nidalee's ability actually deals magic damage. Her ability is she fills up the mana bar, then she transforms into cougar form. And every fourth attack, she deals bonus magic damage. So physical damage items are not inherently bad on her, but it's still a little bit wonky because her ability does bonus magic damage, and then it's just her auto attacks will deal physical damage. So she's just kind of a mixture of physical and magic damage. You can see me highlighting the various skirmishers here. So what is it? I lost the first round and then won the next two, and so I'm going to have third pick priority here on the carousel. There are no spatulas here. One thing I would definitely take is I would absolutely take any spatulas that might be there because skirmisher is makeable with a spatula. I believe the recipe is sword plus the spatula, but don't quote me on that. And then I go ahead and take this vest because it was on a Riven who is a 3 gold champ. And also because that could be like half of a Titan's Resolve. I was thinking Titan's Resolve would not be bad. You can also do Edge of Night, which is not terrible on Jax later on either. But I'm kind of thinking that this is half of a Titan's right now. I also will go ahead and pick up the set. I'm not going to play the set right this minute, but the set could be useful because then I only need either a Zyra or an Ashe to play Draconic trait. And so I'm going to go ahead and put these items on Riven, who does deal physical damage. And so we'll have her hold them. And then the Pike doesn't really serve that much of a purpose. Pike would put Sentinel trait in play, but I don't have Sentinel yet. That's because there's a lot of overlap between Skirmishers and Sentinel. So I put the Callista on the board just to put Legionary trait in play. I don't think that my board is especially good. And I'm also in the weird situation of my AD items are not on the Skirmishers, which is the trait that I'm playing through. So that's kind of awkward. But at least I have Dawnbringer and Legion traits in play. So Riven is like temporarily my carry right now as I'm trying to build towards better items. Still, my board is reasonably strong right now, and that's because skirmishers tend to be very strong in the early game. There's a lot of early game skirmishers, so as far as units go, it's a big vertical trait. There are 8 skirmishers. You have Olaf, who's a 1 cost. You have Irelia and Kennen, who are both 2 costs. Then you have Nidalee and Lee Sin, who are 3 costs, and then Jax a 4 cost, and Viego a 5 cost. So you have 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, and 5 are the cost tiers for this setup overall. And now, by the way, I've been able to find Irelia. So I was like, oh, cool, I'll put I'll put AD items on Irelia. But it turns out her ability also deals magic damage. And this is one of the reasons why Skirmishers is just such a wonky trait. All of the units are melee units. None of them have ranged abilities. Every single Skirmisher is a melee unit. And in addition to this, most of them deal magic damage with their abilities, even though they have stacking physical damage from the trait. It's very, very odd because Olaf, who's the 1 cost, he actually does deal physical damage, but Irelia's ability deals magic damage, and Kennen's ability deals magic damage, and Lee Sin and Nidalee has already said their abilities deal magic damage. And then Viego, who's the 5 cost, also deals magic damage. So Jax and Olaf are the only ones who technically deal physical damage. Although all of those units will be auto-attacking, so they will be getting some damage. It's just their ability, like their auto attacks will still deal physical damage. But it's this very weird trait because every unit is melee. And then in addition to that, almost all of their abilities deal magic damage, even though they have stacking AD is what Skirmisher does. Remember, as I said, they get 4% additional AD every second right now. So, at the start of the fight, that's nothing. But if the fight drags out to 30 seconds, that's 120% additional damage, so that's pretty nice. But really, the carry in this composition is jacks, and if you're playing a skirmisher, vertical skirmishers team board, you're going to be looking to play through jacks. There are, of course, other ways to play this trait. You can just do like a 3 skirmisher, play the good skirmishers, ignore the bad ones, and that's probably the better way to play the trait, to be honest. But that's also a possibility. And by the way, I got a Zyra to drop here, so I was pretty happy with that. And I'm going to definitely look. I also got a bow here, so I was happy with that too, because that can be Titan's Resolve, which I already said is a good Jax item. So go ahead and do that. Now we have Bloodthirster Titans, and then we have half of a Quicksilver Sash. So I'd be happy to pick that up as well. And then now there's finally Olaf in here as well. So now I could potentially get Sentinel trade in, but instead I'm going to look to do this. I'm going to go ahead and look to level here, and then I'm going to look to play Draconic, because I want to get some Draconic income coming in here. Or do I stay here at level... Can't remember. Do I stay here at level 5? I guess there wasn't really any compelling reason for me to level here. So now we've got 3 Skirmisher, 3 Draconic. My board has probably gotten a little bit weaker as a result of this, but I just want to run Draconic for a little while so I can get some additional income. I'll probably run it just for like stage 3 and then look to drop out of it after that. I also would really like to get these items onto someone better than a 1-star Aurelia. Unfortunately, she does not have either of her other traits in play. Aurelia has 3 traits. She also has Sentinel trait, and she also has Legionnaire trait. So I only have the Skirmisher trait in there, and she's only a 1-star unit. She can definitely use these items, but she would be a lot stronger if she were 2-starred and if she had some of her other traits in. Now, there tends to be a lot of overlap between Skirmisher and Sentinel. Oh, we'll come back to this point in a second. So we have our second augment. And then I get this. I get Skirmisher Crest. I'm really, really pleased to see this. So I'll go ahead and take this. And then there's another Olaf in the store. So instantly, this tells me, well, I want to go ahead and play the Olaf. And in fact, it's better to move these items over to Olaf. So I'll go ahead and do that, because Olaf actually deals physical damage, whereas I said Aurelia's ability deals magic damage. Olaf is just one of those auto attackers whereby he gets health back for each auto attack. What's his official description here? He has no mana, by the way. One of those, as I said, he's a lot like Warwick in some of the more recent sets. Attacks heal, and for every 1% of missing health, gain stacking attack speed. So he attacks faster as he gets lower. So right now I could opt to play 6 Skirmishers because I've gotten that emblem. But in order to do that, I'd have to drop Draconic, and I decided I think I'd rather run the Draconic for right now for an additional income. I can look to play this extra Skirmisher on level when I hit level 7, which won't be that far along, and I can actually get to level 7 faster if I'm running Draconic, because it's going to give me those eggs and they'll hatch and give me some additional income. So just going to try to make a little bit more money here, and hopefully it won't cost me too much health, but I'm already on a loss streak, so I don't really need to prioritize winning rounds right now. As long as I can have close losses, that's probably fine. So this looks like it's going to be a reasonably close loss. I'm not too upset about this. Obviously, I'd rather be winning than losing, but I think I'm reasonably pleased with that. And then look, there's 2 more Udyrs here, so I was like, okay. Well, I get an Udyr out of the Draconic egg, and I was like, all right, well, that gets me to 6. Now I have quite good odds to 3-star the Udyr, so he's definitely going to stick around on the board, and we'll have him hang around there. All right, so the +1 Skirmisher actually ends up being a really big deal for this board, and the reason for that is it allows you to hit 8 Skirmishers without needing to find Viego. Again, Viego is the 5 cost. Normally, if you want to play 8 Skirmishers, you have to find Viego, and obviously that's hard to do because it's always tough to find the 5 cost units. This means I don't need to find a Viego to find 8 Skirmishers, which is a big spike over 6 Skirmishers. As far as the data goes, in the data, the 6 Skirmishers is kind of bad late game. It's very strong in the mid game, but it's pretty bad in the late game. By the way, watch Olaf here. He's going to go low, but he's attacking faster and healing on every auto. All right, not quite enough to win that round. But again, it's another close loss, so I'm reasonably okay with how this is playing out here, so that's not so bad. I also get higher pick priority. So anyway, the fact that you don't need to find Viego to play 8 Skirmishers is really big, and that's actually going to influence how I play the rest of the game later on. There's also a Jax here. I would have 100% taken that Jax, and then I would have just played the Jax, but that's not there. So because that's not there, I'll go ahead and take the Cloak, and that's going to allow me to make Quicksilver Sash. Unfortunately, the person who took the Jax, you can see I'm on their board right now, they are also playing Vertical Skirmishers. They have a good augment in the sense that they have Pumping Up over there, which gives stacking attack speed over the course of the game. That would have been a lot better than my initial augment, which gave me the sword and then, what was it, 10% additional what is it? 10, it was like 10% additional attack damage. Now you can see why that's so bad. As I go ahead and level, so I can in fact play the 6 Skirmishers. This will cost me some income, but I think it was worthwhile to do this here. Even though I'm on the loss streak, I do have to make sure I don't lose too much health. And the 6 Skirmishers is a spike, but this will also let me keep Draconic in. My thinking was Draconic will kind of pay for this by having it work out that way. But the 6 Skirmishers is a big jump. You can see from 20% max shield to 50% max shield. And instead of 4% AD every second, it is, what, I think it's 8% AD every second? Yes, it doubles the AD per second. And it more than doubles the value of the shield. So hopefully this is enough for me to either win some rounds and preserve some health. Like I said, I wouldn't mind winning some of these. By the way, that was a great Zyra ult. She hit like half the team there with her ult. And as long as Olaf's not getting focused, he should be in reasonably good shape. I think these are some of the best items that you can get on Olaf. Olaf ran. He ended up getting stunned. His Quicksilver Sash timed out there. So once again, I still lose the round here. I've made a lot of money off this. The problem is I'm losing a lot of health. And that is a bit concerning here. So here's the Radiant, and I was trying to figure out what item to take. And there's only one here that makes any sense, and that's the Radiant Titan's Vow. None of these other items are going to be any good for my team composition. By the way, look at that's the second Karma that's been in my store this game. Too bad that doesn't happen when I'm playing Dawnbringers. Still, I'm very happy with the items I have here. Quicksilver Sash and Bloodthirster are generally seen as the two most core items to put on Jax, and he's the person I'm trying to itemize around. And then Titans is, of course, very good on him. Titans is always good on melee carries. Melee AD units especially are very good with this. So that's going to help a lot. I'm very pleased with the items that Jax has. Now I actually just have to find Jax, which unfortunately I'm going to be contested by that other player we saw took the Jax off the carousel. So my Jax items are good. Now I need to try to figure out what other items I might want. In theory, it would be good to get items for a potential Viego, but I'd have to find Viego. Viego just wants like various items that deal magic damage. Also right here, so Olaf's going to get CC'd, but as soon as that CC wears off, can he get over here and kill everything? Looks like he can, and in fact the Radiant Titans makes a huge difference. So I do interrupt my loss streak right before the minion round, which is a bit sad. It would have been nice to carry that through, but again, I can't lose too much health here in the mid game either. And by the way, I finally find Lee Sin, so now I just need to find Jax or Viego to play the 8 Skirmisher. So we're going to try to get to level 8 and then roll there. And hopefully I've made enough money between my loss streak and playing Draconic trait to be able to get there and find Jax and then hopefully put the board together. So that's kind of the plan right there. All right, so as I said, the big thing is because I do not need to find Viego, that's going to make it very easy to play 8 Skirmishers. Otherwise, I'd have to find him. And so I'll be able to put that crest on someone else. By the way, there's the items for another Titans, but I don't know that I want to do that. I already have 2 Titans Resolves, which is a good item on a lot of these melee units, but I don't think I want that many. So anyway, we're also going to get another Udyr here, so that's not so shabby. And I think I wanted to wait like 1 more round before going to level 8 here and see what happens. Hopefully I can hang in there and avoid losing too many more of these rounds. Like I have gotten the Zyra 2 and the Set 2 out of the Draconic Eggs, and I'm going to be selling both of them. So that's, you know, that's like additional gold. That's 5 gold for when I sell the Set and 8 gold when I sell the Zyra. So like that's like another 13 gold on my bench right there. But I've definitely been glad I've been able to run Draconic for a little while here. If you're running the Udyr, it does make sense. Like I said, I'm running the Set for additional frontline, and then Zyra's actually kicked in a decent amount of extra damage here too. So I think it made sense to run this for a little while here. Like I said before, my biggest worry is that I've just lost too much health. Now this person has an interesting board. They have taken they've taken a Ranger crest, and then they also took the augment that gives you a hurricane and causes hurricanes to do additional damage. I think they fire an extra bolt. I actually had that in the Hellions game I put up on YouTube when I did Hellions. I had that same one, and they're just like building mass Runin's hurricanes, which is pretty funny. It just because like the whole team keeps dying from that. So now we have our option for the last augment here, and it's like I could always do support column. I don't think I need Pandora's items. Support columns is like not a bad choice, but I'm going to take reinforcements here because I know I'm contested on Jax. I just want to find Jax and instantly have Jax 2-star. So it's like, okay, let's not be tempted here. I actually would not mind putting the Sentinel emblem on Lucian, but no, I need to find Jax. He's the most important unit here. I could actually buy the Nidalee. I actually got a little confused there. But all right, there we go. There's the Jax. So we're going to put him in. Now we're going to move all the tank items all the items that were intended for Jax over from Olaf to him. And so now we can look to get in the 8 Skirmishers. I just need to put Lee on the board. So someone just has to come out. And I think that's the Zyra who we're going to take out. So let's go ahead and make sure that we get Lee on the board. Come on, past self. Did you remember to put Lee on the... Oh, I guess I ran out of time. Was still thinking about my board. Was still thinking what to play there. Unfortunately, ran out of time. I'm also trying to think over what I want to do with these items. So I can also, of course, move the Skirmisher crest over to someone else. But for right now, it's still on the set, and I can definitely do better there. Set doesn't really use it especially well. All right, so Jax, can he kill everything? I kind of need Jax to kill everything. Well, fortunately, he was able to do that. So while I've got a second here, let me go ahead and tell you specifically what Jax's ability does if you're unfamiliar, because Jax is going to be one of the featured units, really the featured unit in this video now that we actually have Jax 2-star. So I have cashed in my last augment for a Jax 2-star. All right, Jax's abilities are, his traits are Ironclad and Skirmisher. His ability is called Empowered Strike. It only costs 20 mana, so we can use this quite a bit. By the way, I'm going to swap out the, what is it? What's her name? Zyra. It took me a while to think of that. And we're going to drop the Draconic here to go up to the 8 Skirmishers. I'm going to put this emblem on Draven for the time being, but I think I'd prefer to put it on Lucian, so I'll try to keep an eye out for him. All right, as I said, Jax, ability Empowered Strike, costs 20 gold, or 20 mana, costs 20 gold. He hits the current target for physical damage, then he gains additional attack speed for the remainder of combat, leap to the nearest enemy if no target is in attack range. So he has very low mana cost. Every time that he uses his ability, he will hit the closest target. By the way, I'm up against this other person's Jax, but my Jax is better, so I just straight up win that fight. And he gains stacking attack speed every time he uses his ability. At Jax 2-star, he's dealing 270 physical damage when he uses that Empowered Strike, and gains 30 attack speed. So every time he casts, he's going to get 30 attack speed. This is why an item like Rageblade is actually not that good on Jax. I did play him a fair amount back when this set was new, back when set 5 was originally out, and I tested Rageblade. You might think Rageblade would be good on him, but it's really not that good because he gets stacking attack speed anyway from his ability, so you don't need to take it. By the way, I was also going to take the Viego there, but that wasn't an option. So I'm just going to take this sword because I know I can do something with this sword. So that's his ability. As I said, he gains, so he's really like a scaling unit. He gains stacking AD from Skirmisher trait. And by the way, now that I have Skirmishers 8, he gains, or actually all the Skirmishers gain, I think it's 12% AD each second. Yeah, 12% AD each second. So, after 30 seconds, that's 350% AD. Oh, and I also checked this. I saw that person, Arrow Fighter, had fallen under 40 HP, so I wanted to see what the Radiant Blessing was going to be. I wanted to see, is there like a spatula that's going to pop out here? Because if a spatula came out, what I was going to do is I was going to make another Skirmisher emblem. As I said, I believe the recipe is spatula plus sword plus spatula. So if a spatula popped out, by the way, I get Zephyred here. That's pretty bad to let myself get Zephyred here. Should have been watching that a little bit more closely. But anyway, if a spatula had popped out, I would have gone ahead and I would have made another. I would have just like held on to the sword so I could make another emblem later on, and I would have looked to go to level 10 and play 10 Skirmishers, which would also be really strong. By the way, I lose this fight just because I let my Jax get Zephyred there. This is literally the only reason why I lose that round. Definitely would have won that otherwise. All right, so now I get the Radiant Blessing anyway, and as you can see, it's just a bunch of gold. So I have no way to get to 10 Skirmishers, which is like a crazy chase trait. You're not normally going to make it to 10 Skirmishers. So my plan for this game is, okay, how do I actually win this lobby? I could look to go to level 9. I could look to find Viego. Like, that's one route. That's kind of like the more traditional route is, look, I have enough gold. I could go to level 9. I can try to find Viego. I'll replace, like, I don't know, maybe like Kennen or somebody like that, one of the bad early game Skirmishers. I'll replace them with Viego. And then we'll look to just play another unit. A good unit to add to this board is Rel. You can see I actually have a Rel on the bench right now. She would give the entire team Ironclad trait, which is not bad at all. And it's just another useful unit to have on there. Because one thing this comp does not really have is Frontline. It's a little bit weak on Frontline. Although I am about to hit 3-star Udyr because I found another Udyr over there. So that would be one option. That's like the more conservative, more traditional approach. That's how I typically play these things. But I was looking at some of the other boards and I was like, I will not win the lobby playing that way. I can probably secure like a third or fourth playing that way, but I'm definitely not going to win the lobby if that happens, because I can already see these other boards. Other people are stacking 4 costs. I can see some people are going to probably hit some 3-star 4 costs, so I'm definitely not going to win the lobby by doing that. If I actually want to win the lobby, what I need is I need 3-star jacks. I have to hit 3-star jacks. It's like the only realistic way I do this. So I am not going to go to level 9. I'm going to stay here on level 8, and I'm just going to continue slow rolling, staying over 50 gold. I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to slow roll, hopefully, for Jack's 3-star. And I might as well roll for the only other 4 cost I'm playing, which is Lucian. So I mentioned that Draven would not be a bad person to would not be a bad person necessarily to put the Skirmisher crest on, because Draven is also a physical damage dealer. By the way, I'm going to pick the bow here because I'd like to make Giant Slayer. You might say, well, why not do Deathblade? Well, what does Deathblade do? We get a billion amount of AD from Skirmisher trait anyway. There's no need to worry about that. So we don't really need a Deathblade. What we do benefit more from is Giant Slayer, so we can kill high health targets a little bit better. So like I said, if I actually want to win the lobby, the way to do that is to stay here, stay over 50 gold, slow roll here, and just grab the Lucians and grab the Jaxes, in the hopes that we can try to hit through one of these 3 stars. That is the riskier approach, because I could also very easily just not hit these units and flame out in like 6th or 7th place. So that could definitely happen as well. Unfortunately, we just managed to get to this Kale before she scales up and kills everything. But it's the only way that I'm going to have any chance to win the lobby. And I think my board is strong enough that I can like make it through stage 5, hopefully, before I run out of health, because I probably need to get to stage, I probably need to get to the end of stage 5. I probably need to get to like stage 6 in order to actually hit these units. So we're just going to keep slow rolling here and grabbing these. Now you could say, why not like take other 4 costs out of the pool? And I definitely could do that here. Like, you never know, you might actually end up hitting, but I was just decided I would focus on the Lucians and I would focus on the Jaxes. And you can see, I mean, I'm on 5 Lucians, I'm on 4 Jaxes. This is also only viable because they have increased champion bag sizes here in the set remake. By the way, watch this board. So here's that board that has the Hurricane. It has like the mass Hurricanes and also has 4 Rangers in. So watch, they're going to all fire so many Runin's Hurricane bolts. Look at that action. He swings in the back line and everything just melts instantly. That's a 1-star action, but he has a Radiant Infinity Edge and he has double Hurricanes, and each of the Hurricanes is firing an additional bolt. I was like, oh my god. Oh boy, that really, really hurts. So yeah, hopefully I don't see that board again anytime soon. I'd hate to see that board when it is a 2-star action, because he just absolutely annihilated my team. Anyway, at least I am up to 5 Lucians, so I'll take that. And there's another Jax, so or 6 Lucians, 5 Jaxes. So I am getting closer, but I don't want to roll myself down to 0 gold. If I'm going to do this, I have to be patient. I have to stay above the 50 gold, and I have to take my time here. So we're desperately trying to preserve health. I will not die if I lose this round. On stage 5, you're not going to lose more than 20 health on a loss. So I can, again, continue to be patient, take my time here. I'm going to reposition because one of the boards that I was up against had a Viego that could have been jumping to the right side. Okay, I did not end up hitting that board. This person's playing Hellions, but they're also level 10, so I don't really understand why that particular combination. I don't really know why you would go level 10 while you're playing Hellions, which is very clearly a reroll trait. But it looks like this board's not that strong, and Lucian and Jax are kind of shredding through this one without too much trouble. It's actually pretty hilarious watching Jax kill all the Hellions as they pop out of the portal. So anyway, that's nice. Getting any round that we win right now is big, because we're just stalling. We're just buying time. Every time we get another round, we get like another 10 gold that we can use to roll with. Now, there's another Viego on this carousel. Again, I would have taken Viego off the previous carousel, but it wasn't an option. And I would take Viego off this carousel as well. So I'm hoping that that's still there, but someone does look like they're going to take it. I think that other Skirmishers player, are they still in the lobby or did they get knocked out? All right, well, they're all gone. So out of these remaining options, I was like, okay, I'll take the Draven. That's 4 more gold to roll with. The what is it? The Crown Guard, is that the name of this item? It's okay as a frontline tank item. I wouldn't say it's especially great, but I'll just slap it on Udyr so he has another item. He is lasting longer than I've been expecting him to in some of these fights. So again, we're just going to continue slow rolling here, slow rolling here. All right, that was an unfortunate round. I didn't actually hit anything, but is what it is. Unfortunately, that person in first place has the 2-star Jax as well. So there's actually quite a few Jaxes out of the pool. But remember, this is the set revival, so there's more copies of every unit. Yeah, there's actually... what is it? I have 5 Jaxes and those 2 other players have 6 more. So there's already 11 Jaxes out of the pool. So in a normal Teamfight Tactics game, you would not be able to hit the Jax 3-star here because there's normally only 10 copies of the 4 costs. By the way, notice that I dodged the Zephyr here. That would have been quite bad if Lucian had gotten hit by that Zephyr. So good, kudos to me for scouting the other boards and dodging the Zephyr there. So I need Jax to survive. Ah, that QSS protected him from getting pulled in by the Diana. Can we win this round? Jax is getting low, but he's still alive. He's healing off his Bloodthirster. Aphelios, Aphelios is going to kill most of the team. And Udyr, Udyr actually gets the kill and knocks that person out who had 8 Aphelioses. So I was like, okay, I'm really glad that person didn't hit Aphelios 3. They were very, very close. That's good news. And again, we're still slow rolling here. There's finally a Viego, so I'm going to play that over something. I actually can't take out the Olaf because Olaf is giving me Sentinel trait. Aurelia is also giving me Sentinel trait. And I don't want to take out Kennen because he has an ability that stuns the enemy team, which is actually pretty helpful. So I'm actually going to play Viego over the Nidalee over there. And by the way, someone just made 3-star Karma, so that's pretty scary here. I was like, oh, that's not what we want here. I'll move the Viego over to the right-hand side, so if it's up against Karma, maybe I can have Viego steal the Karma of Viego. Viego like steals away units on the enemy team. But no, it's that action board again. And oh my god, what happened to my team? Now they do have the action 2-star. I was like, okay, well, that's not good. But I managed to achieve my main goal, which was surviving to the end of stage 5. I've made it through here. Now I'm going to get another minion round. So that's going to be 2 more rounds. I'll get another 20-ish gold, plus the gold from the minion round. And hey, I actually am top 4, so no matter, or somebody just got knocked out here. So no matter what, I'm at least top 4. I've achieved that goal in this imaginary game mode where nothing's at stake. So again, I'm going to continue rolling here, and I'm getting closer to the Jax. There's another Lucian. Okay, so we're on 7 Lucians, 6 Jaxes. Again, Lucian's a great fit because he's a physical auto attacker, so he really, really benefits from having Skirmisher trait. He's going to scale up in AD over the course of the fight. He's, like, unlike every one of the Skirmisher units that are natural Skirmishers, who all are melee units, he's actually a ranged unit. So he loves benefiting from the fact that he gets bonus AD and he can actually stay in the back lines and be pretty safe. But in addition to that, he also puts Sentinel trait in play too. All right, so now we're going to have like 75 gold here. We just need to roll down. All we're picking up are Lucians and Jaxes. I have to do this fast. I only get 30 seconds for this. There's a Jax. There's another Jax. I'm like just trying to make sure I don't miss one of these. I don't care about any of the 3 costs. I don't care about, I'd pick up Viego, but I don't care about any of the other units. There's a Lucian. Now we're 8 and 8. There's the Jax. Can I find the Lucian? There it is. Oh my God. It worked out perfectly. 3-star Lucian, 3-star Jax, just like that. All right, let's go. So I played the setup perfectly. I was able to hit both of the units, but that does not automatically win me the lobby because guess what some of these other boards have? Yeah, this board has a 3-star Karma on an 8 Dawnbringers board. So I was like, oh boy, okay. Well, now we've got 3-star Jax and 3-star Lucian against 3-star Karma. Who's going to win this fight? Well, let's find out. Jax is tearing his way through the front lines. That QSS is so nice. And oh, never mind, Lucian just popped the Karma instantly. Karma did 21,000 damage, but we still popped her and knocked her out just like that. One good thing that's working in my favor is not all the 4 costs, not all the 3-star 4 costs are even. Some of them are a lot better than others. Karma seems to be one of the best ones, but I think Jax is actually the strongest 3-star 4 cost because his stats go up by like some absolutely ridiculous degree when you 3-star him. I've got the cheat sheet here. So his empowered strike goes up from 270 to 850 damage. So it like triples in damage. And he goes from 30% attack speed every time he casts his ability to 100% attack speed. So after he gets it off like 2 times, he's already at max attack speed. All right, now we have 3-star Vel'Koz. It's like, okay, we just beat 3-star Karma. Now can we beat 3-star Vel'Koz? Well, Vel'Koz is beaming the Lucian, but he actually doesn't have that much damage. He's got double Shojin's Gunblade, but he actually doesn't have that much damage on it. All right, so we're going to kill that. Now can we get the Kale? Edge of Night is going to trigger. Boom, down she goes. So that's going to knock out that player. And oh, looks like my ghost beat the other player. So GG. There we go. 8 Sentinels, 3-star Jax, 3-star Lucian for the win is going to take this lobby. So I just barely managed to preserve enough health so that I was able to roll down and find those units. Now, was I lucky? Of course I was lucky. I could have rolled for those units and not found anything, but I did have enough gold that my odds of hitting were pretty solid. I think I rolled close to 150 gold on level 8, so it's not like it was just dumb luck. Oh, by the way, there is a The end screen bugs out again, so I'll just go ahead and put in a third-party website showing the stats for this game. So I did roll a lot of gold, and I think I put myself in position to hit those units, and then fortunately the dice were kind to me. So 3-star Jax and 3-star Lucian in an 8 Skirmisher comp turns out to be pretty freaking strong. We knock out 3-star Karma, and then we knock out 3-star Vel'Koz on back-to-back rounds to take the first. What a fun ride. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this game. Until next time, take care, folks. I'll see you again soon.